Lionel Messi bagged his 100th Champions League goal as Barcelona eased into the quarter-final stages with a 3-0 victory over Chelsea. Messi scored for the first time in 9 games against Chelsea in the 1-1 first-leg draw at Stamford Bridge, and he broke the deadlock after only 3 minutes at the Nou Camp, slotting through Thibaut Courtois' legs from a narrow angle. The Blues fell further behind after 20 minutes when Messi teed up Ousmane Dembele to score his first goal for Barcelona since his big money move from Borussia Dortmund last summer. Messi had the last word, though, with the Argentinian maestro reaching 3 figures in Europe's elite club competition when he once again nutmegged Courtois just after the hour mark as Barcelona completed a 4-1 aggregate triumph. Simon Johnson assesses the key talking points at the Camp Nou. In both games, Conte set up his Chelsea side perfectly to get the better of Barcelona, only for individuals to make schoolboy errors when it mattered most. Chelsea should have carried a 1-0 lead into the second leg after the false 9 worked to good effect, but Andreas Christensen's sloppy pass ended up gifting Lionel Messi the equalizer. Once suspected, Conte took Barcelona by surprise back then with his formation, and the same goes for tonight, as he included striker Olivier Giroud up front this time. But once again Chelsea were their own worst enemies, making mistakes for all 3 of Barcelona's goals. And they also didn't make the most of several attacking positions due to the final ball or shot not being good enough. Luck wasn't on Conte's side either, given Chelsea hit the woodwork 4 times home and away and should have had a penalty here when Gerard Piqué pulled back Marcos Alonso. Conte has got a lot wrong this season, but others will have to take the blame on this occasion. For the second time against the La Liga champions, it was Willian who stole the show as far as Chelsea were concerned. Given the interest from Real Madrid, most of the scrutiny has been centered on how Hazard would fare against their fierce La Liga rivals. But the Belgian was part of the supporting cast to the Brazilian, just as he was at Stamford Bridge. There was the odd nice bit of skill from Hazard, of course, yet Willian was the one that was causing most concern. The 29-year-old ran at the Barcelona players with pace and menace, like he did at Stamford Bridge. If anything, Willian's reputation has been enhanced, whereas Madrid might think twice about spending a fortune on Hazard, who was substituted late on. Before a ball was even kicked here tonight, the Barcelona supporters unveiled a series of banners proclaiming "God Save the King." At first it wasn't totally clear who they were referring to, and then they unfurled a picture of Messi in the middle of the words. They didn't have long to wait for their monarch to give them the moment to celebrate as he found the net after just 128 seconds. Granted, Chelsea can claim a huge assist, but perhaps the Argentine caused a bit of panic in the ranks. It was his quickest Champions League goal, some achievement given there had been 98 before this one. He also showed his class to make the most of another Chelsea calamity to set up the second. And then he capped off a perfect evening by adding another in the second half to bring up a century of strikes in Europe's premier club competition. For several months, Courtois has enjoyed being a keeper very much in demand, and with all the power in contract negotiations with Chelsea. The Belgian No.1 has just over a year left on his current deal, and Chelsea have been desperate to get him to sign an extension. Courtois has refused to do so as he considers his options, particularly with Real Madrid, a possibility. However, on the biggest stage he suffered his biggest humiliation as Messi nutmegged him twice to score. The first in particular was inexcusable and gave Antonio Conte's side a mountain to climb from the outset. Given Chelsea will demand in excess of £50 million for Courtois' signature, Real Madrid will surely have doubts on such an expensive outlay. The Blues may also wonder if he is worth paying in excess of £200,000 a week on this evidence. It has not been an easy time for the Frenchman since signing for Barcelona from Borussia Dortmund for an initial £96.8 last summer. Injury had restricted the 20-year-old to just 5 starts before tonight, and he's had limited opportunity to prove himself to the club's fans. Paulinho was played in the first leg at Stamford Bridge because of it and didn't look someone deserving to be alongside Messi and company. One suspected Dembele being in the first side would give Chelsea greater cause for concern, and so it proved. The quality of his finish to put the home side 2-0 up was sublime as it arrowhead into the top corner. Given he had yet to score for Barcelona and had a bit of time to think about it, he could have lost composure and sent the ball high into the stands. But he also did the dirty side of the game by denying Alonso from getting a shot in on goal with a sublime tackle.